Guys, this is Darwin, and here we have Khaled, who went 34th in UK Nationals. What'd you play?
So I played Memento, as always, but this one is pure. So we'll just get straight to the deck profile. So it's like normal ratios. It's 3 Ang, 3 Zebra, 2 Goblin, and then 1 of every like normal name. The only difference is that I'm playing 3 Sleepy. The thing is, like, I do think that this card is just so stupid as an extender. People like KT players are playing Harmonia, Harmonia or Ogre, and then not just that, playing FNV, and it just makes this card live as a punish. But then the more broken aspect of this card is the fact that the worst hands in Memento are where you open too many Memento names and like you can't really get enough value out of it. And like even like Fusion is technically like a worse card when it's not live and you're just using them from field or hand. But the thing is, like with Sleepy, him being able to summon himself and then as an additional punish also has the, if he's destroyed, you foolish, not necessarily your opponent destroying it, but you being like, I have summoned Zebra, summoned a Sleepy, and then my opponent stopped both effects. He has an attack position monster, crashed into the card, dumped Memento Fusion, and then banished Fusion, popped the Zebra, and then I can loop into Memento Fusion. The whole point is like this is just like the perfect extender for the deck, and it just came up better. Like just having it, like more often than not, people would like they would even like try hit the first thing, which this card's just a punish, because you have cards like F and V, blah blah blah. And yeah, F and V can make this card live as well, which is really cool. Even if it means like so much Sleepy, then F and V pop it, then dump Gag, and then add back. So yeah. But just for the momentum names, I do think this is just like ridiculous. Like it always came up, and like not just that, like having one engraved and being able to loop one back in hand, especially within like the combo that I'm doing, it's kind of nice. It's not every time, but the main point is that it's felt really good as an extender for me. And then nothing's changed. It's just free fusion, free party, full spell breakout. That changed. And then in terms of Mom Engine. It's 3/4, 3 FNV, 3 Droplet, 3 Crown, 3. So it's 18 non-engine. I am playing 45, so the reason why is because I strongly believe that FNV, Droplet, and Crown, and Call by Talent this format, which is absolutely ridiculous. And like, it just works, it just flows so well in Memento, and like these like, your main board breakers essentially, and yeah, like it ties into the Momento engine so well. Like you can kill underneath Crown, you get this for that extra value because your whole deck is just quick play spells, and then this card just like works with the engine, but also just like, it just helps them into game plan so much. So like these ones aren't really like debatable. So I picked these because I still like I've always stuck with the whole thing. Like in Memento, like you need to have back row removal. It's really important. So the thing is like Vision being able to be like extra consistency or MST. Like the reason why I decided like to play pure Memento, like a huge reason, is because before we didn't necessarily have Vision and FNV like back then, and then like these are more like newer cards, and not just that. Before like KT was about, people couldn't really look at your hand, which made it broken. Like when you had like an MST and an Elden. Plus like Memento stuff, like you can just play through everything. But the thing is, now that KT is like looking at top deck, if they see the MST, or they see like the Vision plus like an Elden, and then they're always just gonna ash the Vision, and then that means or build the Vision, and that means you just have like a random dead card in your hand, and because they have JJ, you can just never summon. So that's why like I just completely like went off the idea of playing Radiant Typhoon, but I still want to play these cards because it's extra consistency for Primo Memento. And playing 45, this card, the fact that it's a board breaker or it's extra consistency is really good. Also, this plus Vision is ridiculous. And even though like you have a lot of spells that you want to keep, like that's not necessarily always true. It's like sometimes like I've seen my hand and be like, oh okay, there's like a duplicate, a Memento Fusion, or a card maybe I don't feel like I would necessarily need. Then I just push out a Vision and it always goes for value. Anyway, and the last card is Fool. I wasn't playing this previously because like I was playing too many cards in my deck. But this time I just like, if I'm playing 45, like I'm more than happy to. My last year and my last year in this for nationals, I played 45 and I was playing more champions. I was fairly happy with it. Same with Birmingham. So I do believe that in 45, like it was really, really good for me. Every time I opened it, funnily enough, like no one ever ashed it. Funnily enough, in the 3v3 it got ashed, but not on like thing. I didn't open it every match, but just when I did, it always resolved. For fun, like some plays like were good, or maybe they only gave me like one draw, and it wasn't the greatest. But outside that, like it was pretty good. Moving on to the extra deck. I think it's like changed a bit. So it's 2 Creation King now and 2 Twin Dragon. It's basically like you don't need a third copy of this for like crack or whatever. That's not real. But like clip is, it'll randomly like hit 1. But the thing is, the reason why you have to play 2 of this now is because if your opponent hits 1 right, like you don't want to have to think about you looping this back in with Akihiron and then doing it all over again. You'd rather just have the second one and never have to think about it. And it actually comes in clutch. I'll also make like a video about like combos and stuff, but having this engrave is also really broken when you have one in the extra deck. It's because you can leave it in graveyard of like combined, and then when your opponent tries to lightning storm you, you go chain fusion, chain party, pop summon Ang, and then fusion resolves, shuffling back the Ang which engrave, shuffling back this to summon Dragus to Pelio, and then the Birthmate just summons the king. So it's like you can make everything get value. But yeah, I really like this. There's no complaints in terms of this. Like the ratios, and also none of the summons crackle. And then Dragus to Pelio. This card's just always been really, really good. It makes all the half boards better, and I've always loved it. And then the tech, Chimera and Birthmate. So this is mainly for the proxy F combo. So you normally always summon this or this, and the Reproducus makes this, and then. So basically this all like ties in together, and like you normally end on like SP at a minimum, but normally a bow. How you do it is because like when you do the proxy F, summon this, you use another body to make the Reproducus, as I did on the feature, and then turn this into a sequence. The body that you change into a Light Fiend and another monster, like the Chimera, then that means when you summon the Birthmate with this, that means you can link these 2 off into a bow, and then link these 2 off into SP. So that means your Chimera can reborn that about, that's why you don't care. But if you have like a free card to discard, like a card you don't really care about, you just Abao reborn a monster, then make SP with the body. And then you get to maintain the Abao. And you beat Super Poly, but like, I'll explain it in another time. And then Cross Sheep, who just comes up in like weird lines. He's also like a free shuffle back off sequence. So if you ever make Cross Sheep early to get like extra value in terms of playing around hand traps and stuff, then you're able to shuffle it back and use it again. And on the follow-up is always nice, so which is a good card. It's also just a card that helps you play through. And then the last 2 cards just Black Dragon and Albion. Okay.
Would you change something about the extra deck after you played the tournament?
No, never. The extra was actually it was perfect. It was perfect. Like even though I think I summoned like Cross Sheep twice, it's like me having it there was nicer because there was like a lot of scenarios. You have to remember, like when you get drolled is when like Cross Sheep's nice, because you being able to get 2 bodies on the field, summoning Cross Sheep and then activating Memento Fusion underneath it. So when you summon the king, go chain it 1 Cross Sheep, chain it 2 king, you foolish to name that you need like a Dark Blade, then that enables you to get 2 additional pops in rotation, which means that you can potentially get field spells. There's like a lot of variables to it, but I feel like it's the best. So for the side deck, I want to play more Mortal Armies because this deck drawing is just like rebroken. And like I just want to have like as much coverage as possible. Not just that, if I was to play into any FTK deck, I didn't want it just to be Perulia that I could draw into, like because there was a bunch of power patron going on. Not just that, like certain decks, like you know that they're going to be turboing into like certain floodgates, like Brandon playing Diabell. So like even in like the future, for example, like I was a bit worried that he would try attempt to Diabell up me, and I wanted just to for him to give me as many draws as possible. That's why I was only playing like very, very specific board breakers. I just so happened to open all of them, but like outside the ones that I actually had in my hand, I wasn't really playing much more. Like it would be just more copies of the ones that I actually opened. I just wanted to like open like this card because this is a way to like beat all the floodgates. Like someone spell cancels you with Doomsy, someone on Morphic Good Life and Letchery, I think. Yeah, like you're able to deal with it. Like once Santa Claus like deals with the majority of the board, then the rest is just easy picking for Memento. Especially if it's just like the counter trap monster negate that non finito sets. But yeah, this card was actually overperforming. Like I beat 2 Diabells with it. I beat I believe the Spell Canceller and an Amorphous Goliath, like all in one day. So this card was just genuinely like every time I needed it to do what it did, it just did it, and like it didn't need to do more because this card can't be interacted with. It was Dark Ruler in the past, but like screw that. Like, and not just that, like I was always able to kill my opponent, which was so beautiful. And then like this card is just probably these two like just overperformed the entire day in my opinion. Like these two overperformed. This just did its job in terms of like being able to get me to see the other cards, which was nice. But unfortunately, like obviously not every deck is good, and not every deck is bad into Perulia, so I didn't side in every time. And it's not necessarily like as needed. The last two cards, these were just for going first. It was one copy of Darkblade and one copy of Prosperity. So when you go first, like even when you resolve the full combo, like for a scenario, like if you don't open FNV, you have 3 cards that you can banish you have 3 cards easily that you can banish. If you don't resolve full combo, and like depending on your hand, if you think you're playing against KT or something, like if you have to like first action this, like you could do it for 6. It just will kill a certain. Like you may not be able to do the full combo, but you'll be able to do the majority of it, like a Bell, Birth from an SP, plus all the Momento stuff without fail. But you just won't have like like this card's just like a backup plan. It's just because like I didn't want to play a third copy of Darkblade because this card is technically like more like, a bunch of different cards, and like we're already playing like more Memento names, so like playing one more Darkblade's fine. Not just that, if you have like Sleepy and Darkblade, or like Sleepy plus any name, like if you're but like specifically Darkblade normally, if your opponent has Fua, they're always going to Fua the Darkblade effect, and then you're going to be able to, and then your opponent won't Ash it or Veiler it. They'll Fua the Darkblade effect. You summon a new monster, and then they get the free draw. But then even if they hand trap that Angerage, the fact that Sleepy's live or Memento Fusion's live gives you so many more options. And like even through Fua, as long as you just resolve your combo, in 99% of game states you should always be able to win, because like the Memento half-board's really strong, and that you don't have to give like too many crazy draws. Like this is just going to give them 1 extra draw, so that means 2 total. If they don't hand trap you, and lots of decks aren't. But like for example, a deck that has like heavy engine and stuff, they can technically push through it, but you can typically try to live. Especially if you open non-engine, it just becomes a lot easier. And like depending on the deck. Anyway, and then the last 3 cards, these were actually they were eclipses in the tournament. But basically, I did realize that I think these should have been illusion gates. I think this card is really good. I think this card is just really good because whenever I thought about it, like it's another card for me to blindside into like certain decks. Because in this deck, due to siding patterns, you can technically take out 10 cards, like for your siding patterns, if you really need to. Which is why like I opened so much non-engine in that game. But like it works out really well. Like the math for it and like the consistency is like really strong. Like. This card would have been like way more useful. Eclipse was good. It's not that it was bad. It's just that like in theory and in practice, this just feels way better for me. Like, I just like it a lot more. But yeah, outside that,
That's a roll.
yeah. But outside that, like, I was really happy with the deck's performance. Like a little bit for like me not being as happy with like the Eclipse, but I only really felt that when I was playing against specifically. KT, because this card is just a way better card into it, because when someone sees this card in your hand, they search for Bell, but then if they bell the illusion gate, then that means your Memento Fusion is resolving. But like if you have an Eclipse and they already have like the Ash or the Bell, then they see the Memento Fusion Eclipse, they just search the Ash, bell the Fusion, and or however which way they do it. But this way, that means you actually can't technically stop both of them, which makes it really good. And like Zalin's not real because you just chain block it. By activating the Memento Fusion, they activate another card. I just chain another card to prevent them from being able to. But yeah, so I was really happy with my list, and now onto the shoutouts. Okay, so Darwin, best branded player. Connor, Coda, D High, Lawrence. James Rispoli, congrats on him for topping the event. Same to Rocco. Nicola, Bulgarian goat. Denzel, I know he's going to take it there one day. Corey King. Taz. number one Unk, and Ahmed, who's currently having fun in a different country right now. But yeah, it's Khaled again, and I'll be making like a couple more videos about this if you guys want to see. Just let me down in the comments what you guys want to know, what you guys want to see, and yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
That's all, bro. See you in the next one.
Have a good one. Bye.